Hello, everybody. Welcome to Youth Connect. I'm Aiden.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
Hi, I'm Joshua.
Hi, I'm Nibras.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey.
And welcome to our Youth Connect. Welcome back, guys. I hope that you enjoyed your little extra break. I know we couldn't do Youth Connect, but here it is now. And guess what? It is on the most amazing day ever. It's Earth Day. But before we even get into the news, we got to talk a little bit about Youth Connect. Youth Connect is a news, interest, entertainment show that was created during the pandemic for the community, by the community. I know you have met my other co-hosts, as we all want to be in many different types of stuff because we're creating our own podcast, making music. We want to get into acting, broadcasting work, and maybe even become a worldwide broadcaster. There's so many things that we want to do. But starting off with Youth Connect, it's always with myself and gaming news. Was that a new intro? You bet. But we got to do an annual thing, a ceremony in a way to start off the Youth Connect. We always have to do the Spotlight Game of the Week. Now, what is the Spotlight Game of the Week? Well, basically, it's a game that I want you to check out, and I'm shining the light on so that you guys can maybe view it. And to be inspired by Earth Day, I have a great game. And today's game is actually quite a simple name. Guess what it's called? Today's game of the week is just called Flower. Now, Flower, as it may seem, is actually a really cool game, guys. I saw it and it's amazing. It's an exploration game developed by That Game Company. What an interesting game company name. And published by Sony. In the game, you control the wind, blowing through a blackened and nearly lifeless landscape, trying to revive the vivid and beautiful life within it. The controls are extremely simple. You have one button to move forward. All the rest is achieved by moving the controller to steer your movement in any direction in the space. If the wind that you control touches a flower, it carries its petals along with it. So, as you progress in each level, you become more and more of a swirling vortex of color in the landscape around you. And as you do this, the more petals you collect, the brighter the landscape becomes, restoring color to the landscape, waking up more flowers, and unlocking new areas. You know what? It's an interesting nature game because it shows that, the world that we live in doesn't have enough color. Yes, green is pretty nice, but it really needs that brightness. It needs to add that colors of red and green and purple and orange and yellow. And this game kind of gets this inspiration into it. I gotta say, I thought it would be pretty boring. You're just controlling the wind. But as you see all the petals, there's hundreds and hundreds of petals to collect, and it just swirls around to create a beautiful landscape. And you're just traveling through the world, travel through the grasslands, then through forests, then through the city to bring back color into the world. It's a great game for Earth Day, and please check it out. It's on PlayStation, it's also on PC, and it's a really, really cool game. Anyways, though, next up we have Kevin, and Kevin has with us some all-important news.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. You're with me, Kevin Aruja, tuning into Youth Connect. Let's look at the headlines. Canada needs a stronger COVID-19 detection system. Canadian tutor Mattea Roach continues Jeopardy winning streak. Toronto's cherry blossom parks are finally open with no pandemic restrictions after being fenced off for several years. And the greatest raptor of all time wrote an emotional letter since he's playing in Toronto again. Experts say Canada needs to develop a robust system to detect COVID-19 activity in the absence of wide-scale PCR testing. Since the onset of the Omicron variant, provinces and territories have scaled back access to gold standard PCR testing, citing at the lack of a capacity to keep up with demand and the need to free up healthcare resources. Many people have since relied on results from rapid antigen tests, but they aren't as reliable as detecting the Omicron variant or reported Amtrak the way PCR tests are, Experts say they are need to be better a better way of informing people about COVID-19 activity in their communities. Jeopardy champion Mateo Roche, the 23-year-old patron saint of Canadian nerds, has another notch in her belt. The law school tutor won her 13th consecutive game on Thursday night's episode of a TV quiz show. She's now firmly entrenched in the Hall of Fame with the eighth longest streak in the show's regular season history. Roach has so far won $286 out of $81 on the show. She lives in Toronto and hails from Halifax. She spent her childhood and part of adolescence in Halifax and also lived in Calgary and Moncton, New Brunswick. This spring, you can finally bless your Instagram feed again because cherry blossom parks are fully open, fence free is the first time since 2019. The main bloom takes place in late April to early May, climaxing for only a week, give or take a few days. Practically everything in Toronto closed down at one point during the pandemic. Trinity Bellwoods Parks and High Park are no different, but they house iconic sakura trees that bloom this time of year. In 2020 and 2021, the park were totally fenced up in an attempt to reduce the crowds that would otherwise gather there. But since all 15 locations will be open, seeing the blossom in person just got much more enticing. And end on the sports news, with his return to Toronto on Sunday, April 3rd, Lowry released an article on player tribute titled For My Toronto Family. In his words to Toronto, Lowry detained his relationship and expressed his gratitude to Raptors president Masai Ujiri. Lowry also shouted out of his teammates Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and OG Anunoby, who he still maintains a good relationship with. The tears may have started early for Raptor fans and any Torontonian who remembers 9 seasons of Lowry, especially the championship run from April to June 2019. And on the weather news, today and the weekend are looking great with temperatures ranging from 10 to 19 degrees on Sunday. So go out and take up all of their vitamin D. And on the interesting fact and story of the week, today we were celebrating, Earth Day. Celebrated annually on April 22nd, which is today, Earth Day is a global event to create awareness for environmental conservation and to encourage people to be more environmentally conscious and act to reduce environmental impact. More than 6 million Canadians participate in Earth Day celebrations and events each year. Earth Day is first celebrated on 22nd of April 1970, often considered as the birth of the environmental movement. Over the years, Earth Day has become the largest participatory environmental movement on the planet. The theme of a World Earth Day in 2022 is Invest in Our Planet, calling for businesses to shift towards sustainable practices. There are a number of ways you can contribute to invest in our planet. Here are a few. Plant food, eating local, and reducing your fossil fuel footprint, food that you grow yourself as local as it gets. Volunteer, make a difference by volunteering your time to organizations that work to help the environment. Recycle e-waste. Electronic waste is the fastest growing waste stream in the world. Chances are you've got an outdated electronic appliances gathering dust somewhere at home, and your neighbors probably do too. Get outside. Earth Day is about enjoying and taking care of the planet. So one of the best things you can do for yourself and the earth is to remember why it's worth saving in the first place. Go for a hike, take a nature walk with your family, plan a picnic or a game of frisbee in a park on your friends. Read a book in a local garden or take a nap in the sunshine. Go veggie for the day. Meat consumption takes a heavy toll on our environment resources, so why not commit to eating vegetarian meals on Earth Day? Get creative and make a delicious new vegetarian recipe to enjoy with your family and friends. Let us today make a promise to ourselves to take better care of our planet and invest in it. That's all I have to date for you folks. See you again next week, same day, same time. Now over to Aiden's gaming news.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for that message on Earth Day. It's very important that we take care of our environment. And those were just some of the ways to do it. Now, actually, continuing on it, I just want to talk to you Earth Day is an annual global celebration of all things good for the environment, sustainability efforts, and how to invest for a greater and greener future. But guess what? The energy intensive nature of any technology led industry means video games are contributors to the climate crisis. And so each year, several companies have stepped forward with initiatives to make their outputs better for the world. And I have some with me right now. Now, I want to talk about the main one, the main person of all of it that they always do every single year, Xbox. Now, Microsoft and Xbox have taken a number of actions on Earth Day for 2022, including charity drives, streamer celebrations, and even Game Pass offerings. Throughout April, several environmental organizations will be featured on Xbox's console dashboards for players to donate to, which include WWF, Water.org, and the Nature Conservatory, or Converse. Oh my goodness. Conservatives. I apologize. Mojang will be also launching a new virtual learning program alongside Microsoft, but Minecraft Education Editions will let students meet esports and sustainability and explore climate futures. A series of Minecraft worlds created in collaboration with the UK Met Office. Microsoft is also committed to a longer term plan to reduce its impact on the environment and aims to operate as a carbon negative zero waste company by 2030. That's a pretty big accomplishment that they're going to have to do. And you know what? Xbox usually follows its dreams that it tries to do. It follows if it has something that it wants to do, they actually do it really well executed. We also have Niantic, as you know, the creators of Pokemon Go, but the AR developer has partnered with search engine Associa to host a reforestation initiative. This coming Saturday, every 5 kilometers walked by a player in either Pokemon Go, Pikmin Bloom, or Ingress will see Ecosia plant 1 tree, with Niantic funding up to 100,000 trees until the end of July. These are huge, amazing feats. And here's one that you probably don't know about, but I wanted to include it. Super Treat, or Playtika. Super Treat, a studio under Playtika, has also launched a reforestation initiative through its popular mobile title, Solitaire Grand Harvest. Via its environmental arm, SGH Eco, the game has teamed up with Tree Nation to plant an SGH forest made up of 36,000 trees. Players will be able to contribute to the initiative with actions in game. I always love this. Main companies that focus on making video games take the time once every year to plant and really take care of the environment. I always love how they're doing it. Xbox is always puts literally 5 steps ahead of everyone else and just puts as much effort as they can. I am proud to hear how they're planting so many trees, and I really appreciate it that they're shining the light on very important organizations. Anyways, though, next up is Joshua, and Joshua has with us some good.
People since Brian's family comes from Ukraine. We've got 19 people booked to be coming in about 2 to 3 weeks, Brian told Global News. And wow, the 15,000 square foot resort, which we're now renovating into an event space and galleries nestled into a beautiful pine forest and surrounded by a crystal clear lake. Brian Holloway Chucks and his family has decided to ensure a livable space for as many people as possible, with some local contractors volunteering to help as well. They renamed their grouse nest property Ukrainian Safe Haven and are now leasing the property for $1 a year to a new non-profit organization, Ukrainian refugees will be provided with food, education, transportation, and assistance with the settlement process to help get families back on their feet. They are invited to stay as long as they like. For those who want to help, the Ukrainian Safe Haven is accepting donations and volunteer support on their website www.ukrainesafehaven.org. Thanks, Brian, for your generosity. Now, for another good news story. An Airbus jumbo jet just completed 2 flights powered by cooking oil. Having recently reached 15 years of service, an Airbus A380 just completed some trial flights powered by cooking oil. The largest passenger jet in the world, a double-decker behemoth, just flew a 3-hour test flight on sustainable aviation fuel, or SAF for short. Hydroprocessed esters and fatty acids, or HEFA, is the key ingredient of SAF. They are definitely not what your doctor would label as a healthy cooking oil, but powers of the Rolls-Royce Trent 900 engine on board the jumbo jet. The proven successful on March 25th on a round trip flight from Toulouse, France, and back, as well as a second trip on March 29th from Toulouse to Nice, also in France. Far from being an introductory step, Airbus jets are already certified under both the U.S. Federal Aviation Agency and the European Aviation Safety Agency to fly commercially with a blend of 50% SAF and 50% kerosene. Nevertheless, the company hopes to achieve 100% SAF organization by the end of the decade. Increasing the use of SAF remains a key pathway to achieving the industry's ambition of net zero carbon emissions by 2050, said Airbus in a statement. Wow, that's a good use of cooking oil. Now turning to animal interest news. Students write adorable letters on behalf of shelter animals to boost adoptions, and it worked. The persuasive words of an 8-year-old written in crayon cracked open the hearts of potential dog adopters. The handwritten personalized notes resulted in skyrocketing adoption rates for the pooches that were least likely to get adopted in the Richmond, Virginia animal shelter. No human could resist a plea that says, "If you do adopt me, I hope I will brighten up your Sundays like the sun. You will be my Sunday special, and I will be yours." Kenzie Jones, a second grade teacher at St. Michael's Church in Richmond, is also a volunteer at Richmond Animal and Care Control. She needed to come up with an idea for a writing assessment and had the idea to try and boost adoption rates by giving the dogs their own advocacy voice. The idea just came to me to connect. Persuasive writing with these adoptable pets that needed a forever home. Jones told the Washington Post, she said, it was a way that she could make the writing real for students and actually make an impact on the world and our Richmond community. She pitched the idea to the shelter's General Chrissy Peters, who thought it was wonderful. This kind of advocacy, pinned in colorful drawings and letters to the animal crates or enclosures, was a huge success, and 21 of the 24 hard-to-adopt animals found new homes before long. Congratulations, kids, for a job well done. This is Joshua Show reporting for You Connect. That's it for me. Now I'll send it back to you, Aiden.
Thank you so much, Joshua. You know what? I really appreciate how someone someone so young could think of such an amazing thing to help with animals that are currently homeless. And giving them a forever home just makes my heart and makes me honestly just smile. I was smiling through that entire thing. Thank you so much, Joshua. Now we have to do our final gaming news, which is our board game of the week. Now it's similar to our video game of the week, but instead it's a board game. So guess what? Throw your controllers away and get ready to move your hands in a nice fun board game called Planet. Pretty simple name, just like the previous video game Flower. Imagine, guys, the world is taking shape in the palm of your own hands, and you are creating it. With this board game, you get to take on the role of super beings and complete to create perfect worlds with the ideal conditions for wildlife to flourish. Planet is a pretty unique game, guys. Each player's board is a 12-sided, three-dimensional planet core. And throughout 12 turns, you get to select tiles representing the ocean, desert, mountains, or frozen lands, animals, habitats to arrange them on your planet to create the best ecosystem. It's a game all about, guess what? Sustainability of the planet. And you know what is pretty interesting? I want to make my own planet, and this game allows me to do it. So that sounds absolutely amazing. This game is actually quite fun, and I must say, even though it sounds boring, guys, it actually is quite the game that makes you have to use your brain because you have to compete against other people to make the best planet there is. Please make sure to check out this game. Anyways, that's it. Next up, we have Nibras for some entertainment and podcast news.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys today? My name is Nibras Khan, and I'm your host for the entertainment news. Let's get straight into our top story. So today, this is a different top story. I wanted to do something different today. So as you all know, every year, lots and lots of shows premiere on Netflix and other streaming platforms. Some of the shows are great, are so great that they instantly get renewed for a second season. But some shows are not that good for the majority of the audience and don't get a good public rating by the public. And the show gets cancelled in its first season. So today I will mention and tribute those Netflix shows that didn't get a second season. So, and also note that on the chat, Miss Judith or someone else from the Project Autism team would be writing this show, so you can check it out later. So the first show is The Mist, October Faction, Everything Sucks, Daybreak, Jupiter's Legacy, the Society, Archive 81, and this Archive 81 is sad because it just came out in Feb and it's already cancelled. I'm not okay with this. Spinning Out, Next in Fashion, Away, Grand Army, Unlisted, and many more. It is very sad. And these are just season one and all are Netflix original. So each of these shows I have seen and I have loved because they're really good shows. But because the majority of the public didn't like them or didn't watch them, now they're just sitting on a shelf and doing nothing. And nothing will happen to them. I will highly recommend you guys to watch these shows, but even if you do, it's pointless because these shows have cliffhangers and they will draw you in so much that you'll be excited for a second season. But the sad thing is there is no second season for these shows because they were cancelled. It is sad, right? Because all the actors work so hard to create a good show, but then you find out that it's been cancelled, and especially a show that you really like, and oh, you find out it's cancelled, no season two, and that's all right. And why do you think cliffhangers are there? They provide a tunnel to the next season, right? But yeah, it's okay. It is what it is. Yeah. And now to my second story. Before I go to my second story, as you all know, let's do the fact of the day. Today's fact of the day is first, drum roll please. Did you guys know that there are two endings to a movie? Yes, that's true. Released in July 2021, Escape Room Tournament of Champions is the successor of Escape Room, which came out in 2019. Escape Room is about a group of strangers who take part in an escape room. So, what happened was a few months ago, I was very excited about the movie and was looking forward to watching the second movie. The first time I watched the movie was on a website, and then I thought it was a good movie. But then a couple of months go by and I see it's now on Prime for free. I thought it has been a couple of months when I watched it last, so I decided to watch it again on Prime. When I watched it again, I was surprised and shocked because to see the version on Prime has a different ending. than on the website. When I watched it on Prime, I want to confirm that the endings for both were different. So I went back to the website and saw, yes, it's true, both the endings were different. The ending for Prime was different, and the ending for another website was different. A movie has two endings. My mind was blown, guys. It was so interesting. So I wanted to find out more. I went on Google, I researched, and I didn't find any one answer. It was very unclear, but what I kind of found out is it was an extended cut. But an extended cut is a movie has the same ending and it's an extended, right? It's not the original. It's a little long, but I don't think so. That's the proper answer, and it's just amazing, honestly amazing. And I was shocked when I watched it on the website. Yeah, it's fine. I moved on. But when I watched it on Prime, I was just shocked. It's just the same ending, and then I found out it has separate endings. And yeah, it's just amazing. I hope you like this fact and comment down below if you like this. Okay, so my second story. So my second story is about a podcast. So the podcast name is What Should I Read Next? What Should I Read Next is a book recommendation podcast for all book lovers. It is hosted by Anne Vogel, a professional writer, reader, and podcaster. If you're interested in becoming a writer or you simply love reading, you'll benefit from the impressive collection of diverse books recommended by this host and her guests. So I love this podcast. I at least twice or three times a week I listen to this podcast. It's just great because it gives you, if you love reading or if you want to become a writer, you have to listen to this podcast because it gives you options and choices of sometimes what happen is we're looking to even I sometimes, I'm gonna read this book but I don't like this book. We're looking and we cannot find the perfect book, but this podcast it helps you to find a good book so you can read that. I hope you like this podcast. I hope you listen to it, and yeah, and that's all for me. As always, this is Nibras Khan from Youth Connect. I'll see you all next week. Thank you. Take care, TGF. Back to Aiden. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Now, I gotta say, Nibras, thank you so much for remembering one of my favorite shows in the entire series called The Mist. That show was absolutely fantastic. It had a really amazing premise to it. But sadly, as you said, not all the shows get to see the light of a second season. And I'm very sad to say that The Mist also didn't get their second season.
Yeah, that's
It's always the cartoons or something like that gets their second season. But you know what? It's always important that you can't shine the light on everyone. Anyways, though, thank you so much, Nibras. And next up, we have Jeffrey with our live musician and with his live music.
Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's doing great right here on Youth Connect. I'm Jeffrey, your live musician, and I hope you're ready to jam out. I'm going to be performing an original song, Jelly Roll, which was created by myself and Aiden. So, hope you're ready to rock out. Jelly Roll, one step forward, two steps back. Roll your head side to side, don't hide, no slide. Shake your hands to and fro, never let your smile go. You can do it, yes you can. Empty your pockets, in your change. Tell me that fake, rearrange, don't hide, no slide. Let yourself breathe, let me holler. Give me a chance, change your mind, see how adventures just be. You know you wanna win, drink, jelly roll, shake your hands to and fro, never let your smile go. Empty your mind of what you think you know. In your hand, and we got take rearrange the high slide. Be the best you can be. Let me hear you say it. You know you wanna move to show you. One step forward, two steps back. Roll your hips side to side. High slide. Let's go. Empty your mind of what you think you know. Give me your hand, help me grab fate, rearrange the high slide. One, two, step forward, two steps back, roll your hips side to side and high slide. Empty your mind of what you think you know. Give me your hand, let me perfect, rearrange the high slide. Be the best you can be, let me hear you say it. You know, one step forward, side to side and high slide. One step forward, two steps back, roll it side to side. Let yourself free, let me holler. Give me a chance to change your mind. See our potentials. What you thinking of? In your hand. I'm the fate we are in high side. We to change one step forward, two steps back. Roll it side to side and high Thank you, everybody. This is Jeffrey, your live musician. I'll see you all next week. Back to you, Aiden.
That was an original song called Jelly Roll, a song about having fun, and really, it actually has a little bit of a dance routine if you listen closely to the lyrics. I just love hearing Jeffrey come up with a song for a beautiful, beautiful song about jelly rolls. And the reason why it's called Jelly Rolls, guys, is it might be my favorite donut. This is just a secret I'll tell you. But no, it's more about just having fun. And I really hope that you enjoyed this episode of Youth Connect. And if you did like this episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And don't forget to click the notification bell.
Other than that, guys, I just want to say it's a really rough time doing a live stream, but you know what? It takes an awesome team to do it. So I gotta say, thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Nibras. Thank you, Jeffrey. And of course, I guess well, other than that, we'll see you all next week. Anyways, guys, have a great week or a great weekend, and we will see you all next time.
See
Bye,
ya.
guys.
Bye. Bye.